Today, thank you for joining Healing for the Web of Life, the Web of Life Shamanic Journey Circle. I appreciate you guys all being here today. So for today, I was wanting to focus on what can we do within our immediate circle. Okay, a lot of times we look at the grand picture and the big pictures of things, and we did that last time. This time I want to bring it in more towards our immediate circle. What can I do in my yard, if I have a yard? What can I do in my community? What can I do to help restore balance to the web of life? One of the things that comes forward, or it's coming forward for me this morning, is, and Alicia, you know this, you've been to my house a few times, that I create habitat for wild animals on my property. In Kauai, that's usually birds. Okay, but creating a habitat, right, as opposed to just having a straight lawn with nothing planted, that, yeah, you're creating a habitat for something, but not as much. Okay, that's one example of what we can do locally within our small circle, whether it's my yard, my home, or within my community, that helps nurture the web of life, make room for the other members of the web of life that we share that circle with, and also perhaps to help inspire others to do that as well. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so that's what we're going to do for our journey, and during our journey I'm going to drum. You guys are going to journey to the upper or lower world, your choice, and ask for guidance about that, and then we'll come back and share. Heather, since you haven't learned the journeying yet, what you can do is while the drumming's going, is you can just sit in a meditative state and about that question that I posed, about that intention. And you'll still receive intuitive guidance about it. It'll just be in a slightly different form than what we do. So Who'd like to share first about what they were shown in their journey? Go ahead, Alicia.
So, I worked with my spirit helper, and as soon as I got down there, they're like, we kind of told you some of this before, but you didn't listen. And I think really I said I just forgot, but I had been working with flowers and just a bunch of different plants and vegetables. And they said, no, we told you to start with herbs, like medicinal and regular. I actually completely forgot about that. So they said, bring that more of that into your life. And I do feel I feed small birds in the front of the house, but they said, because we do have some adolescent hawks in the back, and they said, that the tree where their house I guess was cut down, and they could really use some food in the backyard for the larger birds. And I was like, I thought they ate animals. And they said, well, at least could you put out like a water bath or just something for the birds water wise back there. Obviously I live in Florida, so it is hot and water can be a commodity at times, so I guess I can do that. And then they talked again about my students, because I teach middle school students. Um, and we had been working with plants with them. That was the last thing they did ask me to do, and I did follow through with that. But they suggested to do some lessons on birds and bees and pollination, and bring that to their attention so they can learn a little bit more about that at school. So that was it. It was very quick, and they're like, "We're not done. Come back. I have more." So that's what I got from this journey.
Thanks, Alicia. And
Oh,
one of the things, and I know you work with middle schoolers, right? Is that correct?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So when my daughter, when Mohala was in preschool, they had found somebody's yard. They had a butterfly that was cocooned, or caterpillars that had been cocooned, and they brought them in and incubated them in like a terrarium for the kids to see, and that was a really impactful experience for them to watch the metamorphosis occur and to go in every day and to check if it had changed, and then when it started to change. And so doing that, middle schoolers maybe have a different way of approaching things than pre-K does. um, but still, is that they still have that wonder
Oh, yeah.
around things, and if you can make it interesting, that would be a really powerful lesson. So yeah, beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alicia. Who'd like to share next? Doreen.
I love what Lisa just shared because similarly, it was the plants that ended up being the thing to take care of. Not specifically what you said, the herbs, but I love that. It was just generally speaking. And of course, my dad having just crossed over not too long ago, it was my dad who came to escort me in the middle world is where we stayed, and he was came as a yellow butterfly, and so he was just showing me his bird feeders at his house in Delaware, and he was very happy that I have bird feeders because it was just independently something that I did here in Texas. And he was just really happy to know that this was something that we were sharing, even though we didn't know that we were sharing this passion for our birds and having food for them. And so the plants, that was it. He goes, and consider plants, consider taking care of plants, consider knowing about plants, consider, the plant kingdom. And and then just coincidentally, just because of where I happened to be, I stepped into my tree of life, went down to the lower world where I was administered by grandmothers for my heart as I'm grieving. So there was a little time there for some self healing and self care, and that was with some beautiful spirits there who just acknowledged the sadness that I'm feeling because of the loss, just the physical loss of my dad. And so I really appreciated having that moment to be able to be administered to as well. So that was my experience today. And thank you
Thanks.
so much, Scott.
Thank you, Doreen. And it's really, yeah. Well, I'll just say it. When you were sharing about the bird feeders, um, just got this image of you taking one of his bird feeders back with you when you go to
That
Delaware.
is so wonderful because I had the same thing. Thank you for saying that because I'm going there in 2 weeks for the memorial, and I was
That's
like,
what you said, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering if my siblings will let me take a bird feeder back, you know?
I'm sure they'd let you take
I'm
one.
sure they would.
Yeah, I'm sure. Just, like I want to take one,
Yeah.
and then when you're adding, I had this image pop in of you adding the food and to that bird feeder and connecting with your dad's spirit in that moment as you're
Mm,
doing it each time. And
that's lovely. Thank you so much. See that? You just plugged right on in. Thank you for that, the saying it out loud. Yeah.
you're welcome. And see, sometimes it's okay to let it pop out of your mouth. Just gotta have the discernment of when. Um,
Yes. It was an affirmation.
yeah. And then also, I wanted to comment that it's beautiful that you had some personal self care as well, because one of the things that was shown in my journey is, we can have these intentions to do all these things, but we have to take care of ourselves too. We don't want it to become a burden to us, like, oh, I have to do this, oh, I have to do that. It's more as we do this, it nurtures us as well. And if at times it doesn't, then we need to do what we need to do to nurture ourselves. In this case, you got the information you needed, and then it was like, okay, now I'm getting tended to in another way that I need, and that's also really important to make sure that it's extremely important that we give that to ourselves, our self-care first, and from that point, then we're able to tend others, whether it's the web of life or other people in our lives.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Doreen. Who else would like to share?
I can share.
Sure.
So we have quite a menagerie in our backyard that we feed. But so my ancestor of the volcano ancestry came and said I should continue to hold fire ceremonies in the backyard. I just have a little teeny fire pit, but he said keep doing that and also make offerings to the flowers and the trees and the life that just is back there. Um, and I was shown that this is going to liberate some spirits that are in the land and a fairy also that seems I don't know if they're stuck there or if this is just meant to be to let them free. Um, and when I asked if there's anything else I should know, I was shown that just by doing these ceremonies, that it's going to clean out some negative beings. Kind of, it showed like a big hand reaching into these negative spirits or hungry spirits and just cleaning them out, like taking out. I use the words in my notes, vermin and bile, but it's just going to clean them out and take their darkness away, freeing them.
And is
So
that something that you were shown is in the yard, stuck in your yard, in the backyard? Those parasites.
the not the negative hungry spirits, those seem to be just around, but they're going to be impacted by this. But it did seem like there was something in the land that might be stuck when it came to the fairy. I've never worked with fairies. I've met one on a journey before just recently. That was my first
Mm-hmm.
introduction. So it seems like it's going to help something be liberated from there.
Okay, great. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. The stuff that's outside, the vermin and the bile, if you
Yeah,
will.
that's lovely image.
Yeah, yeah. Will probably be basically what you'll be doing is creating more of a protective dome around your land, around your property there, so that they won't be able to penetrate as much. And if there is something that's stuck, it could be that what is stuck is creating a portal through which the other stuff can access. Right. So when you release it,
Yeah.
there's no more portal.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I had someone else tell me that there was a portal even in the room that I'm in now, and they showed me how to close it, lightly close it, not crank it shut. Um, so I did that, but that's very interesting.
In general, if you're dealing with middle world stuff like that, you can um, ask that it just be vacuumed to the black hole at the center of the universe.
That's easy enough. Yeah, okay, I'm
And
gonna
then fill
make a
and then
note of
fill
that.
this, and just make sure that after you cleanse anything, that you fill it with light afterwards.
Yes,
You don't
for
want to
sure.
leave a vacuum. But if you're working with a volcano ancestor, you can also dump it in the volcano.
Oh yeah. Oh, I like that.
That's another really like Pele has helped a lot with that. And
Yeah, that makes sense. It was
right,
very interesting. It was like that was just going to be a byproduct of all of this.
right. The
So it makes
intent was
sense.
to do the offerings, and
Yeah,
then it would
yeah.
clear the other things. I'm just more of a generalized uh, couple of techniques that you
I
can
love it.
apply. Applied, you never know when they come in handy.
Yeah, I really appreciated knowing that.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so
Thank,
much.
thank you, Mary.
I'll take any tips you have to share.
No worries. Thank you. Uh, Heather, did you have anything you want to share with us?
Yes. Okay, so this isn't about okay, so I'll just start like this. Oh, if I can, is there a way to turn the camera around?
I'm not sure. I don't know what you're doing. You can just hold it in front of you.
Okay. Um
Yeah, just
so
step
I
back. There you go. Perfect. There you go. We see it.
okay, so I drew a picture, tree of life, which we were
Hmm.
talking about, and on the inside there's a heart, and it's self-love. It's got the caterpillar and the butterfly, and then the plants, the growth, and it's like love, obviously self-love and then spreading it out, but you got to love yourself first.
Exactly.
So I thought that was so cool because we were talking about that. But
And did you do that before we were talking about it or after we were talking about
um
it?
oh, it took me like 2 or 3 days
Oh,
to
you
do
did it
this.
before. You did it a while ago.
And I do it all in pen. So if I mess up, I have to figure something out.
Okay, cool. I just didn't know if I misunderstood you. I thought that you said you just drew it, but this is something you
Well,
drew
I could
previously.
have said that.
No, you didn't.
But
You said you drew it, and I just misinterpreted the timeline. Keep going. So yeah, thank you for sharing that.
I
It's
thought that
beautiful.
was so cool because that's all, what we're talking about. Um, with me, like you guys are way more developed than me, but also just everything is so interesting. For me, I don't know, like, so I had I protected myself, and like when I had the higher energy, I felt like peaceful and like kind of like a little bit of energy. But also when I went down, I didn't go down too far, but I can feel it like the going to the pit of my stomach, like the energy or whatever. But I didn't get deep into it or nothing like that. But also, when I was closing my eyes, I seen blue waves, like an ocean or water or something, and I do see that sometimes.
Sometimes the water is the lifeblood of the earth, right? So we also have to keep the water, protect the water as well as the land. It's essential. Without the water, nothing's going to survive.
Mm,
Yeah. Um, I will
yeah.
make sure just send me an email, Heather, and then I'll make sure that you get the links to learn how to journey because it's something everybody can do. It's it's sure some people we have a little bit more experience with it, but it's not really about being advanced. It's
Yeah.
something that anybody can do. It's if as long as
Yeah.
you're working
Yeah.
in right
With patience
relationship and
and
you have the right intent, it's and you
mm,
already have a natural proclivity towards intuitive awareness. It's very easy to learn, and yeah. So I'll send you those links, and you can try. And then also, if it's something that you want to develop further, I offer
mm,
courses, online courses, as well as in-person courses, but online courses, both live, like in this format, but also
uh-huh.
self-paced, because sometimes the live classes don't fit with people's other obligations and work
Oh
schedules.
yeah,
So,
definitely.
right, so you can take it self-paced, and then we dialogue by email. A lot of people who study with me do the self-paced classes where they watch the video and of a previous class. Basically, it's the video of our live classes, and then we email dialogue back and forth, and then we send the next class. And that's a more structured. The coursework is more structured than what we did here.
Oh
Very
yeah,
specific journey,
yeah.
very specific journey topics, and we delve into a good amount of depth in terms of what shamanism is and how it works, and
Wow, it's
yeah,
already
how to
six.
access that in modern times. Yeah, how we can apply that to our day-to-day lives.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like because I've been seeing things and stuff, well, recognizing it since I was 33, so like 7 years ago. But for me, like sometimes I like don't want to see, you know, because like it takes energy, you know, and just it's an excuse, really, you know. I'm just like nervous because I've heard a lot of spirit like psychics and stuff that when they have that before they have that like the bad before the storm before the calm, you know what I mean? And
Yeah, that's because there's a lack of training and understanding about how to do it safely.
okay, okay.
Uh, um, right? And so, Alicia, can I put you on the spot here? Um,
Go ahead.
share a little bit about your experience and when you went through fundamentals of shamanism and how it helped you to take what was something that was natural and give it a structure, to et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I had always also had just a lot of things. I was very intuitive. I had connections with nature. There was just things I couldn't explain. And I also had a little bit of fear just because I didn't understand how, I had some bad, let's just say, stuff that I don't want to get inside me. I was always very protective and I had a really hard time trusting, other people's intentions. So I actually watched these Web of Lives without being on it. He sends the video out after so you can rewatch it. Well, I was just getting those videos. I would not partake until I could check him out and I realized how much I trusted him. And then I joined his first class, which he was doing this BOGO kind of thing with retreat. So I just wanted to take the first fundamentals class and learn more about shamanism because I felt like I was kind of doing that without really knowing what I'm doing. And he had this energy body work that he did with it. And I thought, well, I'll do it, but it's really a waste of my time and money. But, it comes with it. And it just turns out that that was actually even more important than anything ever. It's how you protect yourself and all your energy around you. And I had been keeping it so tight, and I've been able to expand now because I know how to protect myself because of Scott's energy body work. And I, do my practice every morning. I wake up and I protect myself, and then that way I feel really comfortable, doing the shamanic work because I now know the lower and the upper worlds, unlike the middle world, is true. Like they can't lie to you. Like it's real. Like whatever I'm told, I don't have to question it anymore. I can believe, so I think my time with Scott has changed my life. It has changed my entire family's life. It has, I mean, I literally moved, got different jobs. Like I am so aligned now because of the work. And it takes a long time. I've been with Scott a long time and I'm still learning and I'm still doing and stuff. But I think the all of that just kind of comes, and I do trust Scott. So now that I trust him, I understand, how to protect myself and how to not be scared. But you're right. Like the one thing I heard you say was it takes a lot of energy. And I know sometimes if I don't have the energy, I just can't do the work. And that's okay. Then I'm doing my self-care and taking care of me. Is that what you wanted me to say, Scott?
I wanted you to say whatever you said.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted
I
you to
wasn't
share
sure
your
what you were looking for
experience.
after I started talking.
I just wanted your experience because sometimes it's easier to have someone share their first person experience of, because I just saw a little reflection of what Heather was saying and what your experience was. So that's why I was asking you to share your experience.
Yeah, I would never have done what Heather's doing. Like, you're so brave to just come on and not really know what you're doing and just be here. I was too scared to do that in the beginning, so I just watched the videos after.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
didn't
want
know.
to show my face, but
Scott
Thank
makes
you,
you.
thank you. Yeah, well, that I do because I want to I want to see who I'm working
Yeah.
with. Right? It's a circle, and so part of what we're discussing here is creating a safe space. Okay, and so we need to create a safe space. And so if someone is there without showing themselves on the video, how safe is that for everybody else? Not very, unless
yeah,
I know them, right? Like if
yeah,
it's someone who I
yeah.
know and I've worked with before and I'm like, oh yeah, they're driving and they can't, that's fine because I just know who they are and I know that they're okay in the space. But if it's someone I've never met before, I don't want them on without showing their face. That doesn't feel
Yeah,
right for the people in the
yeah.
container, right? That doesn't create a safe space for everybody else in the container. That's why I send out the videos. So you can do like Alicia did and watch them on your own time if that's more comfortable for you. So thank you for
That's
coming.
that's the best testimonial I've ever heard.
Thanks.
I
Uh,
love it.
yeah, and so now Alicia's coming to Peru next month to do much more
Oh,
energy body work. So
oh, that's awesome.
yeah. So we're doing a retreat down there next month, and um, it's all about the container, as you were saying. And so creating that container uh, with the energy body work helps to regulate our nervous system, so we can do the higher spiritual work. The fundamentals of shamanism teaches us how to do the spiritual work safely, so that we're not allowing in forces, spiritual forces that are disruptive or parasitic into our life. Okay, and
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. We all give agency to something. A lot of us are unconscious about it, and if we're not
yeah,
conscious of
yeah.
what we're giving agency to, it's probably not beneficial because there's a reason it's called the shadow, because it only has power when it's not seen. Okay, once we
Mm,
see it, it loses its power over us.
okay.
And that's why when you see things, we're circling right
Mm-hmm.
back to the very first thing you said, which is sometimes I see stuff and it like feels funny in the space when I say it because when you see it and you call it out, it doesn't like being seen and it will
Yeah,
strike back.
it
It will
doesn't lower my vibration or anything. Like I can see it, but it doesn't affect me.
right, but when you speak it and someone gets
Mm,
upset, then it strikes
yeah.
out through their words because they've unconsciously giving agency to it, right? So just think about that.
Mm,
You have somebody walking around who's probably a good person at heart, giving agency to some form of darkness that they're not aware that they're giving agency to, and then you call it out. What's going to happen? It's going to go, and it's going to strike at you through them
yeah,
to try and
yeah,
drive you apart from them. That's
yeah.
exactly that's exactly the dynamic that happens over and over and over again. I watch it play out all the time. I watch it play out all the time. Once you become aware of that dynamic, you can take a
Mm-hmm,
step back, and
mm-hmm.
you don't have to vocalize it, but you can go, well, okay, they're just acting. They're just acting that way. They're just acting that way because I see what's going on. Okay, I don't have to take that personally.
Mm. That's what I've been trying because I just started a job. There's a lot of drama and stuff, but yeah, I forget what I was saying. I'm sorry, but I've been asking for help with that.
Yeah, good. Well, hopefully that's helpful, and thank you all very much for being here today. Um, really appreciate you guys taking the time, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Next month, we're going to be in Peru, so we're not running the Web of Life next month. But we will be back soon, and thank you all for being here. Have a beautiful rest of your day.
Thank
Thank
you,
Have a
Thank you
Scott.
safe
so
trip.
much.
thank you.
Much
Thank
love to you guys.
Yes, love, love, love.
You too.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Nice
Aloha.
meeting you.